Hi, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for watching and for subscribing. And if you're just visiting, please consider subscribing. So very recently, I saw what I thought was a very fun tag, and that is Get to Know Me fragrance tag. And I saw it on Jackie's channel and I really loved it. I thought it was different, it was interesting, and I wanted to do it as well. In general, I'm a fan of tags. I think they're fun. Once upon a time, we had so many tags going around, and kind of in more recent times, tags have sort of disappeared a little bit. I wish we would do more of them again. Now, I saw it, as I said, on Jackie's channel, but originally, this tag was created by Roxanne's Retreat. I hope I pronounced the channel correctly. I'm personally not familiar with her channel, but I will link everyone that I mentioned down below. So please check out all of the channels. Okay, let's start with the tag. I didn't count how many questions there are, but the questions are really interesting. So I'm going to be looking down because I have the questions written down. The first one is this is more of a request, I guess, than a question, but wear your favorite color with a bit of your personality. Well, as you can see, I'm wearing black. And that is my favorite color, let's be honest. That is my favorite color. I love black. I have always loved black. And that's my favorite color. That's what I'm wearing. Not very exciting, maybe, or creative, but it is what it is. Now, if we talk about, anything outside of sort of black and white, that's my favorite. My second favorite color is purple. I do enjoy purple very much. But in real life, I really prefer like neutral, subdued kind of colors, at least on myself. So yeah, black it is. Second question, where are you from? Well, this is sort of a complicated question for me. Obviously, right now, I live in Canada, in the province of Ontario, and I have lived here for many, many, many years, really the bigger part of my life. But that's not where I'm from originally. I was born in Ukraine, or what was, Soviet Union at the time, and I lived there for the first 15 years of my life. Then my family immigrated to Israel, and I lived there for a couple of years, and then I moved to Canada. So as you can see, I lived in a number of different countries, had to learn a couple of different languages, but I have been in Canada for a very long time. Next question. Name one fragrance that your partner loves on you. So I didn't know what the answer was, so I asked my husband, what is the absolute favorite fragrance that you love on me? And of course, he had to be difficult and he couldn't just choose one, so he chose his favorite two. One of his choices, by the way, I thought was very predictable, but second one surprised me a little bit. I don't think I expected him to choose this one. So the predictable choice, Fleur Narcotique from Ex Nihilo. Yes, he loves this one on me. Beautiful, beautiful floral scent. I'm not going to spend time really talking about the scents. I don't think that's what this tag is about. And the second one surprised me a little bit. I knew he really loved this scent, but I didn't think he would choose it. And that is Italica from Xerjoff, which is completely different from Fleur. This one is this amazing milky almondy gourmand. I love this one too, but I didn't know that's the one that he was going to choose. So a little bit surprised by that one. Next question. What is your favorite designer house at the moment? This was a tougher question for me because I don't have a lot of designer fragrances. I definitely have a lot more niche, and at the moment and for a while, I've been more interested in niche fragrances. However, I do have some designer scents that I really love, and so I looked at my collection and tried to figure out what are my absolute favorite designer scents and what houses do they come from. So this is what I came up with, and I'm gonna cheat here a little bit as well. And because I've chosen two, I just couldn't pick one. So one of them, surprisingly, is Dolce & Gabbana. Now, I'm saying that because I have two fragrances that I absolutely love from this house. The newer one is Devotion. Love this one. This was one of my best discoveries last year. A beautiful, sweet, caramelly, citrusy gourmand. And the only one which I've had for years, which is an amazing coffee type of gourmand. I love both of these, and so for that reason, I'm choosing Dolce & Gabbana. And the second one that I'm gonna choose in this category is Jean Paul Gaultier. Because, again, I have several fragrances from this house that I absolutely love. We have Scandale à Paris, which is honey, jasmine type of scent, incredible. And of course we have La Belle. This is La Belle La Parfum. I also have the original, which is this sweet, juicy pear. Love both of these. So I just couldn't separate the two houses, so I'm choosing both of these. Next question. Well, what is your favorite niche house at the moment? Okay, it looks like this tag or my responses to the tag are gonna be full of cheating. I'm sorry. But again, I chose two, and I didn't bring any fragrances because I have too many. One is an absolute obvious choice because I have been a huge fan of this niche house for a very, very long time. I have a pretty significant collection from this house. Of course, it is the house of Xerjoff. I mean, my number one fragrance of the moment, of the past couple of years, is Tony Iommi. Comes from Xerjoff. So, I mean, this is a no-brainer, obviously Xerjoff. My second favorite house, which I also have to mention, my collection is much, much smaller. I only have 3 fragrances, but I have to say Fuegia because I have been infatuated with that house ever since I discovered it. And, you know, my love for it is still just as strong now as it was when I first discovered it. Yeah, so Fuegia and Xerjoff. Next question. What is the retail value of your wish list? You know, my answer now is going to be so different than it would have been maybe even a year ago, never mind a couple of years ago. You know, I used to have quite a substantial wish list, like actual list where I would put fragrances on it that I wanted to have. I would take them off. It would be quite extensive, quite long. The truth is that right now, I don't have a wish list. I don't have anything written down, you know? So I don't have a value for you because I don't have a wish list, you know? I'm so happy with the collection that I have that I just don't feel the need for a wish list at the moment, you know? I'm definitely in a different headspace. I purchase so little. I'm so selective with what I bring into my collection. And therefore, you know, there are a lot of fragrances that I test. There are some that really strike me as a must-have right away, and I would order them. You know, there are some that I kind of keep at the back of my mind as possible future purchases, but there are not many of those either. But realistically, I do not have a wish list. So there is no value that I can give you. Okay, next question. What fragrance house would you like to receive PR from? Well, an obvious one would be Xerjoff, but let's not go there because I mentioned it as my favorite house already, which I think pretty much implies that you would like to receive PR from that house, obviously. I'm gonna go with, no surprise, 2 others. Yes, I can't just give you one answer. I'm sorry. So the 2 houses that I would like to get PR from are, first of all, Simone Andreoli. 1, because I really love this house. And 2, because it is more challenging to purchase fragrances from this house. They're not that readily available, especially, considering shipping to Canada. Second one is Perfumes de Marly. Again, I love this house. I can get it easily. That's not a problem. But, I would like to expand my collection. I would like to be able to try more of their fragrances. They are quite pricey, even on the gray market. So yeah, would be nice to get PR from them. Why not? Name one of your micro influencers in Frag.com. So that's someone that has less than 2,000 subscribers. My response in a way is going to be actually very similar to Jackie's. When I first read that question, I thought, okay, but I have no idea who has how many subscribers. This is just not something I pay attention to, honestly. I've stopped paying attention to how many I have. I've stopped paying attention to how many others have. This is something that I obsessed over when I first started my channel, but for a long time, I've just stopped looking at that. I watch who I want to watch. I don't care how many subscribers they have. But to have an answer for this, I had to look through my subscriptions. And as soon as I saw that person, I thought, yeah, that's definitely my answer. That is sendsiblings.ca, Julia, my fellow Canadian. I love her. And I don't know how she doesn't have more subscribers. If any of you don't know who she is, and she doesn't post as regularly now as she used to once upon a time. I hope that she comes back and posts more regularly. I love her. I just love her. She just has the best personality, the best sense of humor. She's so witty and so clever, and her, vlogs or whatever she calls them in the car, just absolutely hilarious. You have to check her out. Next question is, which influencer have you been most influenced by? Well, my first answer is very, I think, unoriginal, and I have to go with Sebastian, the perfume guy. I've watched him for a very long time. He's the one that talks about so many different fragrances, like not just masculine, but unisex, feminine, new releases, older fragrances. He covers so many houses. Whenever I'm researching something, 99% of the time I can find it on his channel. So yes, he's my go-to guy when I'm doing research on any fragrances, Second one, I have to say Marcelina Teresa, I think is the correct name of her channel. Her and I have very, very similar tastes. Our favorite gourmand is Unknown Pleasures from Kerosene. We share that. I hope that's still the case, Marcy. But in general, again, I just love her reviews. I trust her reviews. And because we have similar taste, I can rely on her reviews very often. So yeah, Marcy and Sebastian. But in general, let me just add to my response to this question. I love watching these channels. I love listening to the opinions of these people, but I always form my own opinions. Like, I'm not someone who relies purely on the influence of others, I listen to what they have to say, and then I think how it applies to me, how it applies to my taste, how it applies to my collection, So the final decision for me is always my own decision. Next question, favorite release of 2024. And caveat here is that I need to have a full bottle of that. In general, I have stopped really paying attention to new releases. I just test what I want to test. I don't care if it came out this year or it came out 5 years ago or whatever. I don't care. But I do have an answer to this one, and that's a fragrance that I have shown in so many recent videos, but that's because it's truly so amazing and I'm so crazy about this scent. Of course, it is Sangria from Lorenzo Basaglia. I'm not even going to say anything about the scent itself. Like I said, I think it was featured in 3 of my recent videos. Like this will be number 4. I know I don't like to do that, but that's the honest answer. This is my favorite release that I have a full bottle of. And that brings us to the last question. And I think this is really the best question of the tag. What change would you like to see in the fragrance community? So this is a great question. And, you know, I don't want to be negative and I don't want to be controversial, but at the same time, I'm going to give you my honest thoughts on the topic, you know? I miss the old fragrance community of maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, approximately, you know? When I first started, the fragrance community was so different, and I miss how it was. And specifically what I mean are 2 things. One is that creators in this community used to support and praise each other so much more than they do now. So much more, you know? There were a lot more collaborations between creators. They used to feature each other in their videos in some kind of way, you know? We used to talk about people that we love to watch so much more. We just supported each other so much more than we do now. And that's just my opinion. If you disagree, that is totally okay. I wish we would do more of that. So that's number 1. Number 2, again, going back to that, you know, fragrance community that I first encountered when I started posting videos, I feel like it was so much more about our passion for fragrances, our love for fragrances, sharing our experiences, sharing what we loved, what we didn't love, what worked, what didn't work, you know, teaching each other about new fragrances and new houses. And the reviews were so, in most part, were so sincere and so honest and unbiased. And unfortunately, right now, everything has become so commercialized, you know? Ton of PR is being sent out, and I feel like it influences the types of reviews that people are posting. I understand that people are grateful when they get PR, but grateful and loving everything are 2 different things. I do not understand how somebody can love absolutely everything that they receive. It's just not possible. We all have different tastes. We all gravitate towards specific types of fragrances. And when you're being sent things that are so varied and so vast in different genres of perfumery, there's no way you're gonna love everything. It's just not possible. So I wish there was less commercial content and more honest, sincere content like we used to have. So there you go. These are my responses to this tag. Again, I think this is a wonderful tag. I really enjoyed watching videos of other creators that posted, and I really enjoyed doing this tag as well. Some really different and interesting questions. And I'm not going to tag anyone specific, but of course, if any of you would like to do this tag as well, please do it because I would love to watch it. Thank you for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up, to subscribe, and to comment, and I will see you soon in the next one. Bye.